everyone. It's 9 o'clock.
Hold on, you're trying to get me 9 o'clock. Hold on a minute. Okay, TGT.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, we're going to...
Right.
All right, the court will please, Commissioner Price doing some important stuff, trying to get this, all the polls covered with people. The court will come to order. There's a quorum present. All the court members are present. All of our legal notices have been posted, and the court's duly called. Is there a motion to close court for the October term?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Is there a motion to open the November term?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Bailiff will please open court.
All rise. Dallas County Commissioners Court is now in session for the November 2018 term. The Honorable Clay Joseph Jenkins presiding. Please remain standing for the invocation.
All right, and the invocation today will be given by a guest of me. And Rebecca, come on down. All right, Rebecca Walls is my friend and also founding executive director of Unite. Unite's a nonprofit that connects, equips, and mobilizes churches alongside others addressing the social issues in our city. Now in its 9th year, Unite supports over 400 diverse, externally focused churches, 20 geographically based networks across Greater Dallas, and a collaboration around issues including literacy, poverty, human trafficking, racial unity, and others that we care about. Rebecca loves Dallas. Her family got her here as soon as they could, moving from the Midwest when she was in the 4th grade. Rebecca attended the rest of elementary school in DISD and middle and high school in RISD, graduated from Berkner, then getting her college basics at Richland College, where my sister teaches. She's now been married for 25 years and has 2 amazing sons at Texas A&M. While she and her husband now live in Collin County, boo, she works tirelessly to bring all of us together. Rebecca.
Thank you. Lord, in a world that's so incredibly divided, you tell us that unity is your strategy to accomplish your mission in the world. Help us practice the unity of mission required to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors who don't have enough means to support their families, those who are oppressed because of race or any other arbitrary reason, those who are brokenhearted, hungry, lonely, sick, or imprisoned. God, protect us from the enemy who wants to use division and confusion to render us ineffective in your work. Forgive us for falling into his trap. Forgive those who forget about your upside-down kingdom where self-sacrifice puts the first last and the last first. Forgive those who aren't giving a voice to the voiceless and working to lift the least of these out of their situation. Bring them to repentance. Then, please, Lord, bring them into this fight against our common enemy instead of against each other. In you, all things are possible, including the changing of hardened hearts. We put this election day into your hands, Father. We trust you to put into place and to remove those you wish and to use those in power at the end of this day to do your will. Encourage those who are just, use those who are not to shine a light on human failings and call other sons and daughters into the service of our nation, state, county, and city. God, thank you for the honor of serving you in the unique ways you provided for everyone here today to serve. Thank you for those in this room, in front of me, and those seated behind, who've answered that call to serve. And please, Lord, guide their minds, mouths, and hands. May it be for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Right.
I hope this is the day of Jubilee.
Yay.
Me too, Commissioner. Me too.
All right, and
And
for all
nothing
you,
else is over tonight.
That's right. The ads will stop.
and for all you hyper-partisans, when she was talking about the enemy, she's talking about the devil, not whoever you're voting against, okay?
I
So,
know what she's talking about.
Good point, Judge.
all right, so we've got resolution time, and our first 3 resolutions this morning are from Commissioner Daniel.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, why don't we start with National Diabetes Month? I think there are a few people here who do a lot of work in this area. If you'll please come forward. Whereas Dallas Commissioners Court wishes to recognize November as National Diabetes Month, a time when individuals, healthcare professionals, organizations, and communities across the country can bring attention to diabetes and its impact on millions of Americans. Whereas diabetes is a very serious but common disease among both adults and children. According to statistics, 30.3 million individuals have been diagnosed with diabetes, and 1.5 million Americans being newly diagnosed every year. This includes 193,000 children and adolescents younger than age 20. Percentage of Americans age 65 and older remains high at 25.2%, or 12 million seniors, diagnosed and undiagnosed. And whereas more than 84 million U.S. adults have pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal but not high enough yet to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. Without intervention, 15 to 30% with pre-diabetes will develop type 2 diabetes over the following 5 years. And whereas the statistics show that in the last 20 years, the number of adults diagnosed with diabetes has more than tripled as the U.S. population has aged and become more overweight. Diabetes-related complications include a long list of serious health problems such as heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, and amputations of legs and feet. Diabetes remains the seventh leading cause of death in the United States, with 79,535 death certificates listing it as the underlying cause of death, and a total of 252,000 death certificates listing diabetes as a contributing cause of death. Whereas individuals with diabetes can better manage their condition and improve their health through the following preventive care practices. These practices include receiving annual foot and eye exams, attending diabetes self-management classes, properly managing blood glucose, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels, eating healthy. Exercise and healthy behaviors such as not smoking also can help lower the risk of diabetes complications. Whereas according to a study done by the Dallas-Fort Worth Hospital Council Research Foundation on the environmental factors that could influence the control of diabetes in Dallas County, 4 zip codes were identified for the highest prevalence of diabetic patients. That's 75217, 75227, 75149, and 75150. This research revealed that the zip codes with the highest prevalence of diabetes had a very low income, an unemployment rate of between 6.3 and 9.8, few supermarkets, few hospitals, and clustered medical clinics. However, there were many convenience stores and fast food restaurants. The limited availability of resources can greatly influence the health behaviors of those living in the community. And whereas so many are affected by the daily struggles of diabetes, living full, long, and healthy life, it is possible through awareness, preventive care, exercise, healthy behaviors, and good medical care. With the right support and understanding, diabetes can be managed effectively. It's a daily challenge, but it's worth it. So now therefore be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby recognize November as National Diabetes Month, and let's support the effort to stop diabetes. And I so move.
Second.
Amen. All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
Are there any good words that we have to talk about this? Are there any encouragements?
Well, this is Ted Gebhardt of American Diabetes Association. I'd just like to thank Commissioner Daniel and the rest of the Commissioners Court for recognizing the seriousness of diabetes and for recognizing the National Diabetes Month. We do appreciate everything you guys do. It's a very serious issue, but as was stated in the resolution, there is hope.
Good. And I know that you do your part.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Commissioner Daniel, again for the resolution. Judge, Commissioners, Dallas County Health and Human Services promotes a healthy community. That's one of our missions. We mentioned healthy eating habits. Nutrition and diabetes are connected. So we, as a department, offer the farm stands the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. And these farm stands have produce that basically promotes
Okay, say that again. The second and fourth Thursday of the month you do,
farm stands that basically provide fresh produce at the lobby. And, we welcome these as well as anyone that's visiting our department at Stemmons to come and avail and participate in getting those produce. It's a low-cost process, and we feel like the fresh fruits and vegetables are available at the lobby for people to, again, it's optics. It's a matter of people recognizing that healthy eating habits are important. It starts with vegetables and fruits. So we have that. We actually promote it. So it is connected again with diabetes. We feel like we are part of that overall process. So, and a quick point I want to make, Commissioner, is regarding diabetes and flu, because we feel like individuals with diabetes that are, they're highly at risk for flu-like complications. So we feel like I personally want to encourage anyone with diabetes to basically consider getting the flu shot. Everyone should get the flu shot to prevent the flu, but especially folks that have diabetes. It's a lot of literature in the CDC guidelines that basically says folks that have diabetes really can complicate the flu-like illness. So we want to make sure that that's voiced and that's basically encouraged.
thank you very much, and thank you, Ted, for all that you do day in, day out also. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. November is a banner month. We are now moving on to National Adoption Day, which makes a lot of people smile real big. So will those people who are here to support the National Adoption Day please come forward? These are some great partners in that. November is National Adoption Awareness Month and includes National Adoption Day, a collective national effort to raise awareness of more than 117,000 children in foster care waiting for permanent and loving families. And whereas the Dallas County Child Welfare Board wishes to celebrate the love and generosity of adoptive families and to appreciate the work of those who help find and support permanent and loving families for children who are in foster care and cannot safely return home. And whereas since its inception, National Adoption Day, celebrated this Saturday before Thanksgiving, has seen nearly 70,000 children in 410 communities across the United States be adopted. In 2017, nearly 5,000 children in foster care were adopted by their forever families as part of the National Adoption Day. And whereas Dallas County established its annual Adoption Day in the year 2000 with the assistance of Commissioner Mike Cantrell, and will be continued with Commissioner Teresa Daniel, we'll miss you. Since its inception, more than 1,400 Dallas County children in foster care have been adopted by their forever families as part of the National Adoption Day. In fiscal year 2018, 329 Dallas County children in state protective service were adopted, and at year end, 484 Dallas County children were awaiting adoption. And whereas the Dallas County Adoption Preparation Unit works to select adoptive families and prepare them and the children for the realities of adoption, profiles of children are broadcast on the Texas Adoption Resource Exchange and featured on Wednesday's Child, and children attend match parties with their caseworkers. And whereas the Dallas County Adoption Preparation Unit reports the average length of time from termination of parental rights to adoptive placement in 2.5 years. Nationally, the time for a child in foster care to be adopted averages nearly 3 years, but there are more than 20,000 children who age out of foster care each year with no family or permanent home. And whereas the 2018 National Adoption Day will take place in Dallas on Saturday, November 17th, the event is organized by the Dallas County Adoption Preparation Unit and Dallas CASA, which is the court-appointed special advocates. Thanks go to the Dallas County Juvenile, Marshal, District Clerk, and Sheriff's Departments, and the volunteers from the Dallas County Child Welfare Board. We give special thanks to Judges Ken Molberg, Mary Brown, and Jim Jordan for volunteering their time. Now therefore be resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Dallas County, does hereby recognize and celebrate November 17th, 2018 as National Adoption Day. We also recognize that by working with policymakers, practitioners, and advocates to finalize adoptions and create and celebrate adopted families, National Adoption Day makes dreams come true, and especially with the help of CASA. And I so move.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. And are there any words of wisdom that you can share with us this morning, Ms. Kathleen?
Good morning, Kathleen Laval, President and CEO of Dallas CASA, and I'm also a member of the Dallas County Child Welfare Board, so I'm wearing two hats this morning. I attended my first National Adoption Day 15 years ago in my first year as a Dallas CASA board member, years before I came into my current role. I was instantly hooked. I expected to mostly see couples who had struggled to have children and would become parents for the first time, much like my husband and I had many years before. Instead, I also saw grandparents who thought they were out of the diaper buying and children rearing days, and they came forward courageously to once again parent their grandkids. I saw families large and small expanding their ranks, making room for a child or a sibling group. I saw adoptive parents making a commitment to medically fragile children. I saw adoptive parents adopt teens who we might not otherwise think would be adopted. For our children who come into the care of the state and are unable to safely return home, we celebrate those who become their forever families. As an added element, last year's National Adoption Day in Dallas included appearances of superheroes. Captain America greeted every family at the entrance, and Batman, Spider-Man, and Wonder Woman were strategically stationed in the courthouse corridors. We're excited to announce that our superheroes will be back again this year on November 17th, National Adoption Day. We're grateful for the opportunity each year to work together with CPS to support what is for so many of us the happiest day in the year. And we're so grateful to the Child Welfare Board for joining in this year's celebration of National Adoption Day. As Commissioner Daniel mentioned, National Adoption Day is always the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Very fitting. It's especially appropriate for us then to acknowledge and thank Melody Rockwell with CPS, Dallas CASA Program Director Chad Freimeyer, and Dallas CASA Children's Council Board Member Kim Meth for organizing this year's National Adoption Day. I also want to give a special thanks to each and every one of you for continuing the tradition of National Adoption Day, which began some 18 years ago. We are so grateful to the judges and to everyone with the county who supports continuing this tradition. And I want to say a special thank you to Commissioner Cantrell, who together with Judge Cheryl Lee Shannon and my predecessor, Beverly Levy, were responsible for bringing National Adoption Day to Dallas County. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that we'll have another hero. The judge has agreed to do Black Lightning this year, so we're going to have him. So we'll have all the heroes there. So.
I like it. The more heroes, the better. And we know who the real heroes are at National Adoption Day. Amazing families. They're just extraordinary.
Judge, good to see you.
That's right.
Yes,
Good morning, Judge. How are you doing?
to
And if
see
you have never attended the National Adoption Day, you will start.
Yeah, prepare for tears.
Yep.
It's so moving. The kids come dressed in their very best Sunday dress, and a more recent tradition is you'll see all of the relatives wearing matching T-shirts, and they're like on Team Mikey, you know. It's just it's an extraordinary day, really unlike any other. And it is ironic that November is also National Homeless Youth Month. And I think about what a juxtaposition to have those two recognized together. Thank you so much. Yes, Commissioner.
And Judge, I want to congratulate you in advance, but thank you for your service on the board and all you've done, and this is God's way of rewarding you for all your service that you've done in this community, so thank you very much.
Greatly appreciate you recognizing me at this moment. It has been my absolute pleasure and honor to serve, and I appreciate the confidence that you placed in me when you appointed me to the Dallas County Child Welfare Board, and I was able to serve in that capacity. Unfortunately, as an elected official, I will no longer be able to serve on the Dallas County Child Welfare Board, but CASA has no such policy, and they will be holding me captive, and I will be continuing on the Children's Council, and I will spend my next, the 17th, with Dr. Daniels, as we do as our tradition every year. And thank you all so much for your support.
Thank you, Judge.
Congratulations, and thank you for
Yes, and
everything.
you really say something. You want to get a photo?
You bet.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Good.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Great. Brian, I'm getting ready. Why don't you move into the middle?
Yeah, moving to the middle.
Yeah,
Move over here.
Some of us are tall enough.
Good to see you. And congratulations.
Would it be all right if I took a picture of the commissioners together? Is
Uh,
that not?
I was just thinking,
This is commissioners,
yeah, right.
You know us well, man.
this is Commissioners Cantrell last,
Yeah.
you know, celebration.
He said maybe it'd be nice to get a photo together. Beautiful.
He's gonna keep this picture in the mantle of his house.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Has anyone ever done
It's the first friend.
that? Where's for everything? Last but not least, November
Wednesday.
also brings Veterans Appreciation Day, whereas November the 11th, 2018 is Veterans Day, which recognizes, publicly acknowledges, and shows appreciation, and please come down those and stand up those who have served.
Yeah, all veterans.
All veterans,
Yes.
please join us in
Or you
this.
can stand where you're at.
We have a lot of them, yeah?
Right. Well, we got a lot on ours. And shows appreciation for sacrifices and successes made by our veteran armed service members, past and present. And whereas we salute the unbroken chain of airmen, Coast Guardsmen, Marines, sailors, and soldiers who have continuously secured and renewed the promise of our nation, we must never forget those who have laid down their lives for our freedom. And whereas the Dallas County Veterans Service Office assists eligible veterans and other survivors in obtaining benefits from the Department of Veteran Affairs and the state of Texas. Other services include providing outreach to clients who are shut in, homeless, or incarcerated, and giving the VA benefit presentations to nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and to other organizations throughout Dallas County. And whereas we encourage Dallas County residents to volunteer at organizations that provide support to our veterans and their families. And whereas this month and in the months to come, let us show our enduring gratitude to veteran service members and their loved ones for contributing to our nation's legacy as a beacon of hope and liberty. Their courage serves as a model of character and distinction, and their devotion to our country must be met with the recognition it deserves. Now therefore be it resolved, the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby recognize November the 11th as Veterans Day and encourages all to say thank you to military members currently serving and to those who have served in the past, and I so move.
Second.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Yes, ma'am. Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
I wanted to serve, but I had got a 2S, so I couldn't make it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for what you've done. Are there any words that you would like to share with us, Zach?
Commissioner Cantrell
She
second.
yielded, Commissioner Cantrell.
Their computers are not working.
Oh,
Commissioner Daniel, thank you for the resolution. Judge, Commissioners, thank you for the support of our department. In light of it being National Diabetes Month, I'd just like to present that any service member that served in Vietnam or was exposed to Agent Orange from 1961 and 1975, the VA presumes if you were exposed to Agent Orange, that diabetes mellitus type 2 is a presumptive condition. So not only will they give you a tax-free monthly benefit and financial help, they also will take care of your health care for that condition, anything that is a secondary condition, and if that's a causing or contributing factor to the veteran's death, the surviving spouse and eligible dependents could be eligible for benefits as well. So again, thank you, and I'd like to thank staff. We've decentralized our office with Dallas County Veteran Services. James Henderson is now at the Veteran Resource Center just south of the Dallas VA 4 days a week. Lavette Dominic is at Commissioner Daniel's RMB1 office 5 days a week. So we're getting out there closer to where the veterans live, so we're seeing an uptick in clientele. So last year, from January to June, our services to clients resulted in $3.3 million to our clients. So with me today, I have Gino Thompson. He works for the VA Vet Center, so he helps with mental health, post-traumatic stress, military sexual trauma, bereavement, but he's also a member of the Greater Dallas Veterans Council. So he helps coordinate all the VFWs, American Legions, DAVs, the 501c19 veteran service organizations. And he's also still an Army reservist. We drill at the same base in Seagoville. So thank you all again for your support.
Thank you. Okay, someone else's turn.
Just say for the record, Mr. Magora has done an awesome job since he's been with us. He's not only opened up an office in Dr. Daniel's shop, he will have an office in South Dallas, our new South Dallas Government Center. And he has started an initiative this year to get all county employees signed up, who serve, signed up for benefits. So, kudos to Mr. Magora for the work he's done.
Good job.
Good job. More than anything, I think Mr. Martin, is his collaboration. His collaboration with those other services.
That's right.
And when we get the calls, we're able to give them to him, and he connects us up. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He gets involved. I mean, he has briefed us all, and more importantly, he's actually at the office.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
I realize that obviously everyone here, or nearly everyone here, has a job, and our county employees all have jobs. But perhaps, Daryl, I don't know if broadcast is appropriate or how we can get this information out to the family, to anybody who works for us who has a family who's a veteran. November the 8th at Gillies, starting at 7:45 in the morning, I think was when they start lining up. It's a vet-centric job fair. There are 13,320 jobs, openings, with 220 companies. Everything from the logistics companies that we always spotlight to professional firms, restaurants, PepsiCo. There's just a ton of companies, and everyone is welcome. Anyone who needs a job is welcome. They don't have to be a vet. But if you are a vet, then you'll get a special red rope line. You'll go first. You'll get first dibs. And the people that are there are the veterans HR people with those kind of a special veterans area where they want to hire your service and your experience. People who have had, and I almost hate to mention this because I've got my family serves, and I don't want people whose family don't serve to think that all people who are coming back from war have some sort of illness or mental illness. But if you do have those issues, if your loved one has those issues, we want to get them a job. And the people that are there, not everyone that's there can get them a job, but we have plenty of jobs for them. So we want to do everything we can to get the word out. What's hurting us this year on getting the word out is the election, frankly. It's a hyper-partisan time. We're not really able to cut through all of that to get the information out through our media partners like we normally do. So anybody that can help with this, if our elected officials can push that out, however they push things out. I see Juliet's out there. Julietta, the election's over today, so help me out in tomorrow's paper and on your online stuff. Tell them about Red, White, and You. It's a great opportunity for people. It's not only our largest veterans job fair, our largest job fair of the year, and because the election, we'll, unless something miraculous happens, we'll probably only have about a third as many people show up for this, even though we have more jobs and more employers, than show up for your Hired Job Fest that was 2 months ago or whatever. So any help would be greatly, greatly appreciated on that. And to help people go, people say, hey, why should I do that? I can do all this online in my underwear from my couch. There's something magical that happens when you meet up with an HR person. At the Your Hired Job Fest, we had the head the head guy from Walmart Logistics for 5 states here, shaking hands and meeting every single applicant, and he hired a ton of them. Lowest paying job over there was $16 an hour. So anything we can do on that would be greatly appreciated. I've got the last resolution, and of course that is, as it is the first of every month, that is our Employees of the Month. So will Samantha Lee with Juvenile, Kendrick Smith with Juvenile, John Jones with Juvenile, Candace Tyler with District Clerk, and Diana Conigliere with Tax Office. If y'all are here, come on down. All right. What do we, y'all come on down. All right, and the resolution reads as follows. Whereas Dallas County employees are hardworking, dedicated, and play a vital role in achieving the goals and objectives set each year by the Commissioners Court. Most employees perform above expectation and ensure that Dallas County continues to be a regional leader and the destination of choice for residents and businesses. And whereas the Dallas County Commissioners Court authorized the creation of an employee recognition program in 2012 to encourage recognition of dedicated employees who represent the best and the brightest of our workforce. And whereas the Dallas County Employee Recognition Program is consistent with the county's approved administrative plan, under which the county seeks to be operationally a model governmental entity. These employees represent the exemplar employee Dallas County hopes to recruit and retain. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby salute these employees as our October 2018 Employees of the Month for their respective departments and offers best wishes for continued success with Dallas County, and I so move.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Can't do it without you.
There you go. We have a presentation from Ganesh. No, we don't.
Oh, no.
Next, we do not have a presentation
No,
from
we
Ganesh.
don't.
We're going to move to our consent agenda.
Right. No.
Take a very, very short moment in that we've been through a process of becoming CJIS compliant in our county.
Oh, did we get there?
And we did receive a note from Stephen Doc Petty on September the 18th, and what he, just very briefly, the DPS CJIS Security Office audited the Dallas County Sheriff's Department on March 27th, 2018. Based on the security audit results, the agency was found to be compliant with the CJIS security policy requirements. The agency's next security audit will be scheduled in approximately 3 years. If you have any questions, the DPS CJIS Security Office commends the agency for its audit results and encourages the agency to continue the efforts to maintain full compliance. So I wanted to say kudos to the Sheriff's Department and for the IT Department for all that they did and the number of other people who were necessary to make that a successful endeavor. So congratulations to you and to Dallas County.
All right. If I could start a wave from the middle here, I would, but give you a little Smurf dance. Good job. Okay, so
The auditor did get a certificate, GFO, and certification. And,
Congratulations.
It's on there. I want to congratulate you. The 2017 GFOA County Auditor Certificate. Congratulations.
All right, so that
Out
will
today with good news, that's
take
all.
us up to.
So move on the consent agenda.
Second.
Somebody said, okay, I think
Um,
Daniel beat you on that one.
And I just some comments. Colleagues, the facilities budget expenses are in the consent agenda. I hope you have a chance to see them. I want to thank Mr. Bazan and facilities for moving this. We're having our subcommittee sometime in the next 2 weeks, and look forward to continue moving, all these issues that we're working on. And I think that's another good news. And I'm going to vote no on personal issues for the same reason I've been voting no for the last month. Thank you, Judge.
I did pull all of
On the
those.
whole agenda, the whole consent?
No, just the personnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I pulled yours on the personnel, and I didn't know Irma wasn't going to be here, but I'll lay them all out the next time.
Thank you. Same here, Judge, so.
Herman, okay? Okay. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Only on the personal part.
All right. The motion carries 5-0 on everything but personnel and 4-1 on personnel. We'll mark all that up later.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So now this takes us to our court orders. We've got K1 through 58, addendum 59 and 60, pulling 11, 23, and 31, 11, 23, 31, and 35 off the agenda, and pulling 38 for a separate vote. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. So is that a motion, Dr. Garcia?
So move.
Second.
Second. Okay. And I don't have a machine, so tell me when I'm going too fast.
Just 1 moment, Judge. I just need to write these down.
Wasn't quite sure, Mr. Martin, on 22, while he's writing it down, about those property considerations of acquisition. Is that, we're going to deal with that, is that the one we're going to deal with in close?
I move and Commissioner Control Secretary.
Unincorporated areas, so just planning for.
And the same thing, did you pull 21? Is it pulled?
No, it's 11, 23, 31, and 35.
Yeah, well, but I got the same, I'm trying not to make this a long court, but I got,
Just pull it.
yeah, pull 21.
You can both pull them close also, so we
Right.
can pull those and
Well,
discuss them.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
21 and 22?
yes,
Okay, we're going to go back and pull 21 and 22.
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
just 1 moment. Let me
I was trying to
redo
I had all these notes.
that. Okay, let
That's
me
a-
redo it. It's okay.
Okay, and that's a friendly amendment, and you agree with the amendment, Dr. Garcia?
Yeah, I mean, if we want to
Second
discuss
agrees,
that,
well,
that's
just
fine
for
with
the
me.
record.
And it's 21
21, 22,
22.
to be
23.
pulled.
So we go to close and talk about it, come back out and vote on it.
So it'll be voted on today.
The 21.
Or-
Or not.
Y'all don't want to vote on it.
23.
Yeah, we may or may not vote on it, but we'll go to close on it. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And we're okay on this second amendment, Ms. Randolph, on 13 to St. Jude?
Yes.
I got to ask now based on latest developments. Okay. I did talk to Mr. Ames about 6. I'm going to move forward with that, but we're going to revisit that whole piece. I appreciate his.
I just want to say, thank you, Mr. Losberg, for the Goat Island, plan. I think it's exciting for Dallas County to get involved, and environmentally, it's a great win for our county. So thank you for all your work, as well as the DART passes for all our employees. I know that I think it's coming on broadcast, but it's a way that Dallas County works with our employees, not only to, carpooling, but also to use public transportation to come to work. Thank you, Mr. Martin, staff.
Just want you to know, though, and you talk about Goat Island and that whole area, we're starting to see a lot of poaching there. So we really are. My guys are burying and
What are they poaching?
everything from alligators, you name it. Yeah, we're burying. We got a burial service going almost daily, but it's a lot of poaching going on out there.
Yeah, and it's until we start using it and start developing where, hopefully we're going to solve some of those issues.
Speaking of burial,
Yeah,
did we pull that for?
Yes, it is full. I'm working on that, Judge.
I've reached out to some the faith leaders, like at the top, like at the bishop level of churches.
I called Bishop Burns, I guess because I'm a Catholic, I haven't heard from him, but with that being said, I've been called, and also Pastor Strokes with downtown. They were working on, a plan that with several faith organizations for a decent burial, not to mention that I cringe every single time I think about disposing anything in the Gulf of Mexico or any ocean from the environmental point of view, even when, as always, it has a TCEQ approval. With that being said, I think that Dallas County should find a different solution for this item. Dr. Bernard knows about this. His staff knows that we're pulling this item, and he is being instrumental in helping us solve this.
We've been down this road before, and the only difference between when we went down this road 15, 20 years ago and where we are now is the disposition of the remains. I mean, that's the only thing here that's at issue.
Correct. And it's a big issue.
If you hold them in an urn or mason jar forever, I'm just trying to figure out. You still don't dispose of them.
But John, I don't see that as there may not be an issue, but I've also reached out to the Hindu religious leaders and Muslim religious leaders. I'm concerned that with some religions, using liquid to liquefy a body in a drum
and dump it in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, wherever you put that, I'm not sure that if no one has an objection to that being an appropriate way to dispose of remains, great. But I want to be mindful of minority religions' views as well, and just make sure that we are. I certainly wouldn't be comfortable. I'll just be honest with you. If somebody said, "Hey, one of the options for your loved one is to melt them," cremate's one thing.
About 20 years ago, cremation was the issue.
But cremation's been going on in religions and cultures for thousands of years. Putting people in a 55-gallon drum of liquid is not.
Alkaline hydrolysis, which is a chemical process of.
I understand now.
There's nobody to claim.
I understand, but they're gods. They're human beings.
And just talking, and we went 20 years ago. We have some of the challenges of 20 years ago, which are different of the challenges today, and the challenges will be different from the challenges of tomorrow. But I think that, what the judge is saying is something that we're taking into consideration. Are we going to please everyone? No. But definitely a chemical process for disposition of a body and then being dropped into the ocean, I don't think is the right way to go. Personally, regardless of all the other factors, we have to find something in the middle where people that want to remember their loved ones at what point, can go ahead and do it in a memorial, in something that is suitable for any life to be celebrated.
Loved ones, they're the people they're unclaimed. Again, 20 years ago, we called hell for stacking bodies in a county cemetery. We were stacking them, and everybody thought that was,
in the body bags.
they thought it was horrible. Then we went to cremation, and they said, "What the hell are y'all doing?" Let me just, and I think that primarily, is either the medical school, they have changed they've changed the dynamics. And
They used to take all of the unclaimed remains, they would bury them. Their crypt is completely full, they have no more space to do it. And that's why we went to the other option, burying them.
Right.
In development, so at least in the way the development.
That's less of a,
Cremate, not
yeah.
cremate the development.
That's less of a concern to me, and I'm hearing back, I think I just heard back from Bishop Burns on a text, so I'm hearing back from people, they religiously, there's not a religious prohibition against using chemicals. And same thing, we heard apparently this morning from,
well, that's what I'm saying.
from
Okay.
Jewish, but I haven't heard from.
I will appreciate, colleagues, that you allow me to work something out. I talked to Dr. Bernard, I'm talking to different entities, trying to find another solution. If we don't find anything, we will put it back in the agenda so we can move on. Like everything else, it's discussion here, and it's trying to do the right thing for everyone.
At least you have a little bit of homework on that to see,
All right.
because I respect what you say, Commissioner Price, and that as times change, as technology changes, as a variety of things come in play, and so this is just another one of those steps, I think, so I agree with both of you.
Thank you,
Let's take a
Commissioner.
moment to do that.
Yeah, if you talk to the leading funeral homes, black folks, hell, damn sure didn't believe in no cremation. And now 60% of the leading funeral homes here are doing cremation.
And people are open
Because
to
of
cremation.
affordable. Now, it ain't so open. Hell, when it costs $2,000 to open a grave and close it, when it costs $4,500 to $6,000 for a plot,
I think that's
then
what
you
we're
got
saying.
to,
That's what we're saying. Times have changed from 20 years ago, minds have changed, and economics have changed from 20 years ago, and environment has changed. Opposite to popular belief, Commissioner Cantrell, take it the wrong way, environment has changed too. It's real. So we just keep moving.
Okay. Anyway, so how long are we going to explore this? Because Dr. Bernard, I know, is in a holding pattern.
Well, Dr. Garcia has been very active on this. We talked about.
I got it.
On this. So we'll probably have something on the agenda at the next meeting.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay.
And just, let me clarify one thing. This chemical stuff is only for people in excess of 600 pounds who are unclaimed. Anyone under 600 pounds would be cremated. So that would be a very small subset of people that would have that if we go forward with that. It's not that we're going to stop cremating. Anytime cremating is possible for an unclaimed remain, we'll continue doing that.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a quick question about number 33, which is the dark passes? Has it always been that that not all employees pay the same amount?
Yes.
It's always been that way?
Yes. You've had hearers. Yeah. Everybody didn't pay the same amount.
Well, they don't all pay the same amount.
Huh?
They don't all pay the
That's
same.
what I said. Yeah.
Any other comments on the non-pulled court orders? Hearing none, all those in favor,
And just, okay.
you got
I
one?
know how I feel about that housing voucher thing. I understand, Mr. Shovelmeyer, that's HUD. I still got a problem in north versus south. I've always voted against it, and just show me voting no on that one.
On which one?
The vouchers.
Can you do that, or do I need to pull that one?
I can do it on the back.
Okay, great. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously with the exception of the voucher vote. All right, next we have 38. Is there a motion on number 38?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Motion by Price, second by Daniel on number 38.
And I asked the question about the contingency, which was my concern on this item, and Mr. Victrom did answer me. Mr. Victrom, just for the record, can you elaborate on why the contingency, even when the whole process is already pretty well stipulated here, is needed?
Yes, ma'am. These particular items are, they do special projects thing. QNet basically has certain kind of fixed number of dollars for eminent maintenance and operations. And so when they basically do special projects, they basically have to bring in staff and above the normal M&O, like the blank screen action items that came in. So this basically addresses the items that you typically already worked on as far as special projects, and it sets out a smaller contingency just in case anything else that comes up. Our hope is that with the court's guidance has already approved the replacement of quite a few of the computers and stuff, that we don't necessarily have to do as many special projects. And the Phase 3 PC replacement already has its own contingency funds in it, so we don't anticipate basically having to go through and actually use those contingency dollars and stuff to a great degree for the rest of the fiscal year.
And the company has been performing well, everything that they have moved forward, and with the specifications that we have in this item, we don't expect any changes.
No, ma'am, not at this time, no.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Judge.
Major, on this, when we passed the original contract, did we anticipate that we would need to make payments outside the original contract?
We had some, yes, so we had some dollars in there to go through and actually do that to a degree for to kind of basically pay out of some kind of a maintenance funds. But again, there are some things that came up that were pretty significant. Like say in the end of June of 2018, we typically had the blank or black screen issue that came up. That was pretty extensive, so we had to go through and actually that was something that was a little bit more than what we actually expected. Right. So.
You're asking if the contract allows for
Right.
additional projects.
That's right.
for this thing. I think that's what you're asking,
Right. Mr. Price, does it allow for that? And legal, are we able to increase the contract by that amount, basically $290,000?
I was just looking at this, and the briefing indicates it did not go through.
I'm sorry, Mr. Roney?
I'm looking at the briefing on this, and it indicates that this did not go through legal for review.
Why?
With regards to the contract, I'll have to get that information. I can try to pull it up.
What we'll do is we'll basically follow up with, again, we have an existing contract with them. So all we were basically doing is just basically leveraging the existing contract to go through and actually do the work, because they've already, quite a bit of the items, they've already done it. But we'll certainly follow back up with both purchasing as well as the county legal,
Just make sure you
DA's office.
cross all the, dot all the i's and cross
The
all the
briefing states that the approved contract did provide for additional services outside the scope.
That's why I asked that.
But that was not presented to us to make sure that it is in compliance.
That's why I asked the question,
Right.
and it didn't really sound like it matched up, so.
Do you want to pull it for review?
What does IT want to do? And do you?
Certainly to go through and actually make sure we pass muster, we can go through and actually pull it in, basically
Is there a
present it on the
time issue?
20th.
Is there a time and payment issue?
Certainly we can go through and actually just pull it and put it back on for the 20th.
I'll withdraw.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good?
Yeah, withdraw my motion.
So we're okay, Mr. Victor,
Yes,
of
ma'am.
this
We'll go
coming
through and
back?
actually make sure we
Okay.
basically follow back up with both purchasing as well as with Civil DA's office according.
So we're going to hold off.
Yeah, I withdrew it.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, withdrew it.
Okay, so this is going to take us up to our closed session. And we'll get back to the speakers at the end, but we've got to go to closed session. We now have something to vote on. The matters that we're going to discuss in closed session are all previously posted under Chapter 551 of the Government Code. Any action as a result of the closed session will take place in an open session. And we'll start that closed session in about 1 minute.
Good morning, Mr. Robert.
Say it again.
Well, sort of. It's not size, it's kicking me out. It didn't really do so. It just kicked me out. They were on 38. It kicked us out of the line.
We'll go through, as a matter of fact, I'm typing right now. The existing contract allows for them to go through, like, to my knowledge, I'll have to look at it again just to be sure. And say, okay, if you got special projects, it allows them to go through next to these special projects. But again, I think the question that you raised is that the amount that basically you're adding, does it exceed the actual 20%, I suppose, of the, so I think it was like $1.6 million or something. So again, what we'll do is we'll go through and actually, I need to go through and actually just make sure that, because I'm not absolutely sure. So we'll need to go through and actually make sure. I think that our folks, by being legal lawyers and stuff, that they actually looked at the agreement, but we'll go through and actually make it, and then just put it back on the agreement once we confirm with you all.
Because now we don't know. We just check the videos, but we don't really know what happened when she had the glitch. So it may not even record it in the video. You know how you go back and see, it may not even. I don't even know. But it looks like it's working.
I won't let me basically look at it, but I'm looking, I'll send you a copy of the, I'll send you a blind copy of it. We started the process of passing. We started the process of passing. They should be on newer stuff, so they shouldn't get patches. Do your observations so we can basically have a conversation with the operations chief and the security chief. But we need to go through that because I don't want that to continue to happen. Okay. Right. Yeah, I need that. We can't let that happen. So send me your observations so I can have a conversation with the operations chief and the security chief. Thank you.
Damn it. thing is yeah, but they still have more. Yeah, that makes sense because the motion was
certainly take care of yourself. We do appreciate you. We do appreciate your basic comedy, dialing in and stuff and seeing what you can help out with. It just basically is just all of a sudden just started to logging folks out and stuff. So that seemed to be kind of the issue.
maybe public comments.
have a quorum back for the end of this, and we are back in session. Is there a motion on quarters 21 and 22?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And next, we'll hear from our public speakers. Bailiff, will you read the rules of decorum for our public speakers? Okay.
Okay,
I can cut.
and before that, Judge, I want to also recognize Ms. Blanca Reyes. I understand that she's here. She's a UNT student who has a full scholarship for her master's and wanted to see how we work in Dallas County Commissioner's Court. She'll be joining us today at the office. Thank you. Ms. Reyes, I don't see you, but if you're here, thank you for being here.
Right. Will the bailiff please read the rules of decorum for our public speakers?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
both,
we did them both
Yeah,
together,
we got both of them.
21 and 22. Dr. Garcia made the motion, second.
Right, I have it.
You got it.
Thank you.
All Commissioner Court attendees are hereby advised that this meeting is conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Dallas County Code, Section 74-71. Visitors and registered speakers are to preserve order and decorum at all times. Personal, profane, or slanderous remarks are not appropriate and will not be allowed at any time during this public meeting. Any and all applause is to be kept brief in observance of time constraints. Disruptive visitors and or registered speakers may be removed and are subject to the penalties provided in the State of Texas Criminal Code, Sections 38.13, 42.01, and 42.05. Registered individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes, and the maximum discussion of any one topic is limited to 30 minutes.
You doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Our first public speaker is Mr. Loris Phillips. All right. And our next public speaker in uniform, all the way from Ball, Texas. What is Ball, Texas?
They messed up. It was supposed to be Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. All right, Micah Quarles. Micah, we normally have a little clock up here, but apparently it's busted. So Commissioner Price is going to keep time and maybe put that where I can see it. And when you get to like 30 seconds, I'll do this to you.
Yes, sir.
And then when like your time's up, I'll like do this to you, and you just finish your sentence and your thought there. And
yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. All right, go ahead. Just state your name and your address, Mike.
Michael Quarles. I live in Dallas, Texas, 9842 Adelia Road, apartment 1007. I'm here today to talk to the commissioners. Good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Michael Quarles. I'm a senior at Lake Highlands High School. I moved to Dallas, Texas in 2012 with my family. Since being in Texas, I have met a lot of people and learned a lot. I attend Watermark Community Church where I'm a part of a youth group. I'm a scout with Troop 932 in Circle 10 District. My scout leader is Miss Jane Heath. I have been with this troop since 2014 and I've attained the rank as life. And now I'm working towards getting my Eagle. I'm here because I would like to get your permission to put a box in the lobby of this court to collect any worn out flags that need to be retired. On November 28th, 2018, I'll be doing my Eagle project, retiring of the flag ceremony, at Tyler Street Academy at 9:30 a.m. This means so much to me because right after high school, I'm planning to go into the Marines with the help of my recruiter, Staff Sergeant Holstenbach. In addition to that, it means so much to me that the students at Tyler Street Christian Academy learn why the American flag is so important to us and to not to discriminate it. Thank you.
Okay. Now, where you want to put the box, Micah?
In the lobby.
In the lobby of this building?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, but there by the security?
Oh, you're going to come get them and dispose of them, right, or something, right?
Yes, sir.
The Boy Scouts will continue to dispose of the flags after you're in the military.
You probably need to work those details out with Mr.
Yeah,
Marshall.
you need to work the details out. Let me just get a sense from the the body on that, though. I certainly think that's a fine idea. And
Yes, it is.
all right, then. So he'll work that out with Mr. Martin, and thank you for bringing that to our attention and doing that. And good luck in your service. God bless you.
And as a member of the advisory board of the Boy Scouts, keep going. Congratulations. And thank you for being here. It's a great idea, and we'll work it out.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
Thank you.
Good
Yay.
job.
Ms. Whitaker, how long have you been doing this now?
Only? Okay.
Oh, heck yeah. Come on, Micah. Come on around here, Micah.
And what is your
Ms.
position?
Whitaker.
Oh, you're going to put
I
them
was a troop
Wait,
leader.
whatever, you go wherever you want to. You want to come around here, you can.
You know, I would love a picture. Sure. How are you? Congratulations.
I was a troop leader, so I appreciate what you do. I do.
I only won the chili contest.
My pleasure. Thank you. Oops, I lose you.
Okay.
Dolores, same thing. I'll do this for 30 seconds for you.
Okay.
And then I'll do this
Yes,
for
yeah.
like time's up, okay? It's no clock. Right? So say your name and
Dolores Phillips, 3101 Luxor Way, Dallas, Texas, 75233. I recognize this young man has been a Boy Scout, so I wanted him to speak first, not knowing what he had to say. But I'm so very proud of him because I never even understood as a child why they would burn the flag. So I'm saying thank you. That's a brilliant idea. I also wanted to say you do have a handout. It is a page from Green Oak stating that I had 9 flash drives on me when they unlawfully took me to Green Oaks, and that was premeditated. Some of the Me Too women said it took 30, 40, 50 years to get Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein. I've been enduring criminal retaliation for 10 years in humility, and I'm doing a great job, thus says the Lord, and I'm going to give it all back in peace and truth. On that documented page that you have that says, it says 9 flash drives. My UNT professor said after they were deleting my assignments and court documents from my flash drives from UNT computers, he said that he would suggest that I put my assignments and court documents on multiple flash drives. This just happened again at UNT Denton on Friday where they sabotaged the computer. It happens at the Dallas Public Library all the time. So when you say anything about a secure, voting, votes being secure and you don't have to worry about it being manipulated, that's hogwash. I'm going to humbly endure your repercussions to give it back in peace and truth, and I'm not going to apologize for speaking the truth. When you hear these judges throughout America seemingly giving no penalty for convicted rapists, when you look at what the females do here, and if it's not you, you need not be offended, then you perfectly understand why Me Too is a scam and a sham, and that women are the downfall of women and not men, and not society, but women against women. Premeditated Green Oaks was about me speaking of a cover-up, and the meeting was prearranged by Mayor Rawlings 2 to 3 weeks prior to October 25th, 2013. Let me tell you about the ongoing retaliation. I was at George Allen Law Library, September this year, got a call from somebody, said that they wanted to speak to amicus attorney Jennifer Perkins. I allege it was a bullying tactic to obstruct justice because I'm a witness to the ongoing cover-up within a cover-up. I made a police report to Dallas Police, and I'm yet to hear from them. Family Dollar, November the 3rd, was a physical assault because the women cannot accept my lawful rejection to open, and I will not be doing that. So if the women refuse to
to accept a no from a woman, why can't the men do the same thing and force a no to be a yes when it comes to women? And I'm very serious about this. In the schools, it's documented at OCR and in the court that I was sexually harassed to get open, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to be afraid to speak of it. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Sure. Our next speaker is Ms. Janita Brown. Beyond that name is a parentheses, Henson, McCall, Janita Brown, or Henson, McCall, Janita Brown, Henson, McCall. All right. Our next speaker is Maudine Allen. Maudine Allen. Our next speaker is Robert Ciccarelli.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I just want to read this real quickly. Part of my title, Why the County Commissioner, City Council, and Mayor are a Big Hoax. I have to say something. I'm going to backtrack real quick. It's been a big failure, a lot of stagnation with be going on with the homeless problem. There are 3 people that could change this to move it very quickly in a positive way. It's the county judge, the person who represents District 2, and the mayor. These 3 people have not said anything at all about the homeless since day one. And what's been going on has been bickering between the city and county, county and city, and the commissions have just been going around and around in circles, and people have been telling me, why haven't these 3 people supporting these other commissions? I know why, I'm not going to say it, but right now, I've been reading about 200 people that died in Dallas County. They had a memorial on Sunday, and in this article here, where the city is killing the homeless in the Dallas Observer, I've decided, though, is the way to do this is if you're not going to get any support, Dr. Daniel, from these 3 people, you're spinning your wheels. They can really make a movement on this and make people get excited about this. There'll be people showing up to your meeting. The people will be showing up at the Homeless Citizens Commission. But it's a tragedy that these 3 people, the most important 3 people in city and county, do not say one word. I've been saying this, but I'm just bewildered. The biggest problem here in the city of Dallas is the homeless, and no one is saying anything. If it's unpopular because you don't get any votes, unpopular you don't put any money, please have a passion what's going on. They've been working hard, but there's been problems with these commissions, but you're fighting a no-ends battle with the people I hear about the homeless problem walking out of these meetings and these commissions because it's a bunch of BS what's going on in these commissions. If you start supporting the people, people be coming, people get excited about it, like with Donald Trump, in a way. But right now, I'm not supporting Trump, but I'm just saying to you two right in front of me, please support them and let them know what you think about it. The money will be coming in. They need money. And right now, it's something, whatever the lock is, if you have a passion, both of you, please do it now, because right now, I am getting fed up with it. I'm ready, because you talk about the 200 people that died in the county, and you talk about the 2 people that died last year in the weather. 30 seconds? Okay. So please do it. I'm just saying in a big urge. And Dr. Daniel, you're going to be starting up this commission. If you want to get on the Head Start, I would suggest you get Nadia Hardy, Shaletta Sharp, Monica Hardman, and Larry James. Those 3 people are in this article about killing the homeless. And it says here, I think as the hearts of the hearts, Dallas views homelessness as a solution to homelessness. Okay? That's ridiculous. If you get those 4 people, and about the cottages, Larry James, about what's been going on all these years, please do it and give me a jump start. But please, it's up to you. If not, they're going to continue to die, continue to suffer. It's up to you two and the mayor. Get to the mayor. The mayor has been a very big disappointment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. William Hopkins.
My name is William Hopkins. Judge Jenkins, what brought me down there was in 1996, my son was robbed at Kimball High School. and the kid robbed him and cut him up. He had like 25, maybe 30 clamps. They had to clamp him back together. And so he was robbed. The nurse let him sit there for about 4 or 5 hours. She was a white nurse. She let my son sit there, just bleed and bleed out. And the police wouldn't take him to the hospital. Chief Charles Cato was getting paid to work at Kimball, him and Officer Sims. Officer Sims took me to jail after I called the police, after the kid robbed my son. So the kid stayed in school. My son went back to school and saw the kid and told me that the kid was in the school that cut him up. So I called 911 to find out why the kid was still in Kimball with my son and he had robbed him. And 911 lady told me to go up to Kimball and sit and wait. And I waited 45 minutes, knowing Charles Cato and Officer Sims were getting paid to work at the school. So Officer Sims come to the school around about 45 minutes later, and him and the principal talked about something. So he took me to jail for criminal trespassing after I waited on him for 45 minutes. So I asked John for help. I tell John the situation. So I went to jail for nothing, man. He said, I don't believe that, William. So I went to Henry Wade Court, and Henry Wade said I was guilty for calling 911 and waiting on the police for the kid that robbed my son. I told John left me in jail. Y'all got a raise in Sand Branch. Cantrell been 20 years, y'all ain't done nothing. John been 30 years in Sand Branch, ain't done nothing. Them kids in West Dallas, Fred Byron and Russell Budd and Dorothy Budd, the Fred Byron and Budd law firm, paid John and the lawyers and some preachers, some ministers to come to West Dallas in 85 and tell us, don't tell nobody, come to the boys club and they got millions of dollars and the FBI won't help me. I don't know why the FBI won't help me. It was crooked and everybody got paid.
Our last speaker is Mr. Marco Montemayor. Marco Montemayor.
You're gonna miss this shit.
All right, and that concludes our public speakers. There's no other action before the court. Court stands adjourned.
Thank you.
You're gonna miss this shit. You're gonna miss this shit. I saw your son. I saw your son.